So awkward for me.
You'll get used to it again.
It's so weird. It's like I haven't filmed a fucking YouTube video since like...
I mean, it's been a long ass time, right? It's been like 5-6 months.
It's been like 8 months.
No shit.
Yeah, it's been 8 months since I filmed. I mean, I guess it started off really as just like... Well, 8 months ago, I was living at that Studio City house, which was the house that I was living in with Jordan, Jay. He was like back and forth, but Jordan, Jay, Keo, Anthony. He was there for a little bit, and I was pushing content out like once a week at least. I'd maybe skip a week every now and again, but like I'd get content out pretty regularly. But that was a really weird time in my life, dude. Like that time of my life was kind of figuring out if I really wanted to like pursue this or like do stuff like this.
I mean, you had just moved from where you were growing up, never living anywhere else.
I just moved from Seattle a few days after I turned 18. And I mean, honestly, to start off, I want to tell you guys what went down as far as like moving out here. So I think I moved out here a few days after I turned 18, and then, you know, I moved to Encino in that Sway gaming house and whatnot. And, so I moved out there. I was there for like 2 months, but I've always been the type of guy that likes to, you know, like I've been streaming since I was 14, and I never really had like a surge of like just people coming into my chat. I was streaming to like maybe 100 people during that time, but I would still stream every day. And, you know, like my thought on it being the Sway gaming house and all that stuff was that we were all going to collectively, you know, stream together, play games together, all that stuff. But it didn't turn out to be that way, obviously. You know, maybe like one of the dudes would stream every now and again. I mean, Keo streamed. Keo actually still streams pretty frequently. Honestly, I see him pop up on my following every now and again. Keo actually streams a decent amount. But it wasn't really like that when I first moved there. And it was really weird for me. You know, at that time, like, Corona wasn't a crazy thing yet. And so there were like parties and stuff like that, and I would be sitting in my room playing video games. And I didn't really like to party. I never really liked to, but I felt like in order to like be an influencer at that time that I had to go out and like party and stuff. So I'd go out every once in a while and like drink and whatnot, which is like not really my thing in the first place. I never even really did it in high school. But you know, time passes there, and this really weird situation happens where it's like I wake up one morning and like the guys are gone. They're just like, and then I see a text from some of them like, hey, yo, we moved out. You're moving to this place though. You're not moving with us. You're moving to this place. And I was like, okay, whatever. But in my mind at the time, like, you know, thinking like, as an influencer having $200 in your bank account, I thought that was like insane, you know, like just being able to like afford food every week. And so I was like, fuck it, dude, if they're giving me a place to stay, why not? So I moved to that house with Anthony. It was just Anthony and Keo and me at the time. And you know, we get there and it's like it's super nasty, dude. It's like there's maggots under pizza. There were 2 pizza boxes that were on this table in there, and I lift them up and there's just maggots crawling out of it. And I was like, oh, it was fucking nasty. And then, you know, like a mountain of Amazon packages in the backyard, just like that we never got rid of, even after staying there for so long, because we were like, how the fuck do we get rid of this shit? I'm not responsible. I don't know how to fucking do it. Who do I call? A fucking box man? Like, that's what I thought at the time. I was like, what the fuck? And, you know, you realize later, like, towards the end of the house, when I was actually starting to become more aware of things, I was like, I could just have somebody take this shit, and they'd actually take it and recycle it and shit like that.
Empty boxes?
Yeah, they were just empty boxes. And I was like, and they were just, it was a mountain. Like, I'm talking like 15 feet of Amazon boxes.
Jeez.
And so, I mean, I was there for a while, you know, that's kind of in that time, like that September, it was September, I believe, was when I started, like, it was my first, like, kind of, like, blow up or whatever you could say. Like, I had, like, Vin talk or whatever go around, which is, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that stuff. But I had that stuff going around, and, you know, I was starting to stream a little bit more because I had more motivation. A lot of people were coming into my streams and stuff. It was super cool, but kind of during that time, a lot of stuff was going down as far as people wanting to see me like fail and stuff like that. You know, I had those people try to call me out and cancel me, and believe me, a few things that I've said are really stupid. Like the whole Biden thing was fucking, I don't know, dude. I was cringy as fuck too. Like I admit that like I was like corny as hell. Like, but I thought that like, you know, after being with all these influencers and different personalities, that's what I picked up off of them, and it kind of just translated into who I wasn't, and I perceived like I looked that way to people because I'd take other people's personalities in a way, like the way that they told me to do it, and I'd just be like, okay, didn't even think about it, and just fucking throw it out there. And, you know, like going through all that didn't seem like a lot, but then there were a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Maybe a little bit afterwards, towards maybe like about a month before or 2 months before I moved into Hype House, I was in a really, really, really dark place. Something that I won't get into too much detail about, just because, you know, it's not something that I want to put out there to frighten people. I don't mind, you know, people knowing about this stuff because I have said it before, but I just don't want to make the whole video. But it was a really rough spot to be in at the time. I didn't know where I was going with my life. I remember calling my mom. I'm like, hey, like I want to move back. I want to go. I'll do community college. If like I'll come back. I'll say, can I stay at your place? Like I'll do community college. Like I'll work. You know, like I'm still an electrician and all that stuff. Like I can go back and do that. And my mom was like, no, you've only been out there for this long. You're not done. Like you don't not have a place to stay. And you're still able to afford food. You're still able to do some things that you love to do. So give it some time. And if in that time you don't do what you want to do and you can't do anything about it, then yes, I will accept you and come back. But like, and she even said like, if you really want to come back right now, then I'll let you. But think about it. Like think about what I'm saying. So I kind of took that with me. And I stayed for a little bit longer, you know, going through those rough times. I didn't really tell my parents. I didn't really tell my friends or my family. I was just kind of going through it by myself, which is not something that you should do in times like that. You need to reach out to people. You need to go see somebody. You know, you need to tell people about it, or else it's not going to get off your shoulders. And it was a really tough spot. And that was the time where I stopped posting on YouTube. During you know, like I'd say a lot of like rash things, like things that were like you know, I made that pain account when like, yeah, and like people's perspectives, it was corny, but to me at the time it was something to cope with, which was a really fucking stupid and weird way to cope with something like that. You know, like I'd really mean that stuff, and but it was just like it was really fucking corny. But that during that time was like, that's one of the reasons why I wasn't posting. It never really came to me as something like at the time that I really wanted to focus on, you could say, because I was so stuck on streaming. It was something I was doing since I was young, and I was like, I gotta keep streaming. I don't care if I'm depressed. I don't care if I'm sad. I don't care if all these things are happening to me right now. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm gonna keep posting on TikTok and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's a huge part as to why I stopped posting on YouTube, was because I had so many different routes that I wanted to go down. And, you know, like I just distanced myself from everything else that was available to me. You know, I had a good group of people that would come and watch my YouTube videos, but I never put content out for those people that wanted to see it, you know, that wanted to see my daily life and all that stuff, because posting skate videos and you know, what I do in a day, it was fun, but like, it was something that, like, at the time, like, I had a great filmer. He was really cool. Lance was really cool, but it wasn't something that, like, I wanted to, like, if anything, that's why I'm doing this by myself or with, like, people that I know, that I've known for a long time. Like, I'm going to have, like, Liza help record me and stuff like that. I'm going to record myself. I'm going to bring my camera to Seattle and all that stuff. But, you know, I mean, like, I didn't want to, you know, have to go and talk to, like, text my filmer and be like, yo, let's go film today and let's go out and do stuff, because after a little bit, I didn't really want to go out and do stuff. I just wanted to sit in my room. I wanted to stream. I wanted to do all this. Like, it was just a really weird time for me, and it was a very dark time at the same time. It was a lot to unravel. But as far as that goes, to kind of give you guys more detail about what has happened throughout my mind in these past few months, you know, I get invited to Hype House. I don't really know the guys very well. They're kind of just like, you know, Thomas is like, hey, like, we're moving to this house. We have this room open that you can come stay in. I think it would be, you know, I think it'd be good for you. I think it'd be good for, it would benefit both of us. And I was like, you know, at the time also, that house that I was staying at with Jordan and Jay and Keo and, you know, all of them, it was coming to a point where, like, we were either going to start having to pay a shit ton of money to stay at that house, or we were going to have to leave. And I know that a lot of those guys didn't want to have to fucking pay for that house. It was a lot of money. So we kind of just, like, dispersed. You know, Jordan got a place with Maddie, very happy for those two. Jay, he's doing stuff in Seattle, which is great to see. Desi as well in Seattle, and I believe she goes to New York, or she might be in New York. It's like, I don't know, it's like, I'm not really caught up with that type of stuff. And then, you know, Keo's with Amanda, which is awesome. All those guys, you know, I lose touch with them, and I lose touch with a lot of people, and it really hurts because, like, I feel as if, like, I want to tell them, at the time I want to tell them, you know, like, the reason I'm not responding to you isn't because I don't like you, it's because I don't know where I'm going with my life. And this was at the time where, you know, Thomas is reaching out to me about Hype House, but then those guys at the house are like, let's get a place together, blah, 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 and it's going back and forth, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And, you know, at the same time, yeah, it's good to, like, hang out with your buddies that you've been with, but it's also a time for change, which is what I told Jordan and those guys. I was like, yo, like, hey, it's time for something different. We were all feeling it. We were all feeling it in our heads, but we didn't want to say it because we've grown so close, but we were like, we need something different. So we all dispersed. I went to Hype, all that stuff. At first it was kind of weird, you know, because, you know how it is when you meet friends for the first time. Like, I know these guys, but I don't know them. I don't know them. So I come here and it's like, I get my own room. It's great. Like, the place is awesome and all that stuff. And they know I'm, like, streaming and all that stuff 24/7. And I'm like, okay, like, this is cool. Like, I do my 24-hour, like, I think in, like, the first, like, few weeks that I get in there, I'm hanging out with them a lot, all that stuff. It's great. It's super cool. And then it just keeps going up from there. And it's just like, you know, that stuff happens. And then, hey, we're doing a Netflix show. And then, hey, you want to do this boxing event. So I'm training for this boxing event for 6 months in a row, every single day, waking up at 4 a.m, driving an hour, working out for 2 or 3 hours, coming back, not even being able to hop in the shower, and then just going to film like 500 scenes in the day. So it's like, and also balancing that out with streaming and posting. It's like, I couldn't do YouTube at the time. There was just so much going on. Like, I couldn't, like, yeah, maybe I could take my camera down and vlog me boxing and just set the camera down, but, like, who wants to do that, you know? Like, that takes the training out of the training. It just feels like a business type thing, or like you're posting, you're just doing it to post. So, you know, I'm doing all that stuff. Then I go to the boxing match, you know, I fight Deji. Obviously, you know the outcome. He's a great kid. He got fucked over by his trainers, to be honest. Like, his fitness trainers just fucked him over. But along that bridge, I don't think I'll probably ever want to fight again, just because the fact that, like, I have so many things that I want to do as a 19-year-old kid, and a lot of people don't realize that or know that I'm 19 and that I have a lot of different things that I want to do. And I've said this before, this is why I have such a huge respect for boxers. It's because they have to devote every single day of their life to boxing, and a lot of them don't even get the chance to pursue it at the pro level. But it's just not something that I do just because it would be like that every day. It's just training. I'm not Jake Paul, I'm not Logan Paul, you know, like, I'm not one of those guys like that will just throw everything, except they're like different, dude. They have all their social medias that they're doing while they're training, while they're doing all this stuff, and it's just not for me, you know. Like, those guys are committing to it really well, but it's just not something that I can do. So I don't really see myself doing that again. But as far as that goes, I mean, you guys are basically all caught up. I just really want to put this video out there to kind of explain to you guys what's been going on since I last posted on YouTube. It's been a lot. It's definitely been hard, but I'm doing great now. I found a lot of great friends. You know, I think we started hanging out like frequently, like, was it kind of like when I moved into Hype?
No, it was like a little bit after, because you'd already been here. You were driving around that. Oh no, you were still driving that Camaro around when you were in the Encino house, right?
Yeah.
I think no, it was right after you moved into Hype, and then we went to go get the BMW.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, it was like, and we had been texting like car stuff, like, oh, what can we do to the BMW, like da.
Yeah.
And then you sent me the Corvette, and I said, don't ever send me that again. I sent you the FD, and you said, need it now. We flew up to Sacramento 2 days later, drove it back down here, all in one day, and then it was just like, it was after that.
Yeah, it was after that. We were hanging out like basically every day, and like same with like Eamon and stuff. Like they'd come down and like hang out every now and again, but they hadn't moved near us yet. But then, you know, once they moved down here, we hang out with them like almost every day. And dude, it's been really good. Everybody at the house is super nice. They're all my family now. And you know, Thomas is really the one that actually pushed me to do YouTube again, because he said, like, it's just something that, like, it's another way of pushing out content that people don't even see on Twitch streams. Because, like, yeah, as much as I'd love to do IRL Twitch streams, it's not something that you can do all the time.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube's for in the first place. So, you know, like, I'm glad that I'm back on this track and that I'm able to do this stuff again. I'm definitely gonna vlog for Seattle. If you guys didn't know, me and Jet are shipping down the SIL 80 and the R32. Hopefully getting the SIL 80 wrapped, but if not, no worries. Like, it doesn't really matter. We just want to get it wrapped for Seattle to have it look clean. So, I mean, you know, if that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we're gonna do a lot of vlogging down there. You guys will, you know, meet my family and all that stuff even more than you already know them, and just, it'll be fun. It'll be really fun. Yeah, I want to go to a few places that there's a few places I need to visit, but it'll be super fun. I'm excited to keep you guys posted on that stuff. Hopefully, I'll let you guys know on my socials when I'm gonna post that video. But as far as this video goes, guys, thank you guys for listening and hearing me out. Kind of basically just hearing me out the whole time, ranting and shit like that. But I appreciate you guys being more consistent. I'm gonna try to post at least 2 times a week. Don't take my word for it, though. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Take my word for it. I'm a beast. I'm gonna do it. That was weird. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. I promise it'll be less awkward once I start vlogging and shit. I just don't sit in front of cameras like this anymore. So I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great night or day.